G'day guys, well I'm super excited to bring you this build. It's a indoor punching bag, a reflex punching bag. It's brilliant. It is so good, like it's fast and you can make it as fast as you like. You can make it slower, but the speed is just so good to work out on, work your jabs, work your jab cross. Let me show you how to put it together, dead simple. Here are the things you'll need. So you'll need a bottle, a 1.2 litre bottle where you basically cut off the top. So the top, right, you want, this is what you want. The bottle, well, you don't need the rest of it. Okay, a funnel, just the kitchen funnel, right? I've taped the end of it. I'll explain why. But these are fairly cheap. You can get them most supermarkets. You can get one. Try and find a funnel that is about the same size as your 1.2 litre bottle top. Let's move on. A ball, any kind of ball, right? Rubber, cheap ball, you can, this one I just found in the backyard that was just lying there. Okay, you've got a little hole where you pump it up, so you don't want to put your attachment, you want to put your attachment on the opposite end. So these two things are going to go like that onto that, and that's essentially going to be your punching bag. All right. We're going to need really strong tape to tape that to the ball. And it does work. You just need good tape, good strong tape. If you don't have it, invest in a roll of tape. It's always handy to have this strong stuff around the house. Anyway. And oh yeah, okay, PVC pipes. So I tried doing it with a single thinnest PVC pipe, the thinnest one that you can get. Just on its own, and what happened is the bottom of it actually started to bend when I started hitting the ball really hard. Okay, so it started to bend. So I've decided I'm going to use a one size bigger in conjunction with the thin one. So what happens, the way I've decided to do this is have one go inside the other, okay, and basically that's going to be my base. And then the thicker pipe, the bigger pipe comes to about halfway. Okay, so the ball will be on there. So that reinforces everything. It also makes it quicker, faster. And that's what I want. You can adjust the speed by determining how long your bigger pipe is. So if you want it a little bit slower, you just cut the pipe a little bit shorter, okay? The platform, okay, the platform is basically an MDF board, so chip board, right? MDF chip board, about $5 for a piece like this. And this is where you're going to stand. And then what I've done is I've taken two pieces of wood and I've screwed them in. And I've drilled a hole through both of the pieces of wood. Now I didn't drill all the way through the MDF, just through the pieces of wood. Now the hole that I drilled, that's probably the hardest part to get right, because you've got to make it exactly, the diameter to allow this pipe to fit nice and firmly. So the thicker pipe fits in there firmly. And I've drawn a line to indicate where it's gone all the way in. Okay, so I've noticed the base does tend to come out, or the pipe does tend to come out of the base. So what you got to do is basically drill a hole and then have a nail with a bit of gaffer tape on the end of it, and you can put it all the way through the pipe. So I'm just going to drill it all the way through. Okay, so little hole big enough for a little nail. You want to just put that in there, and that pretty much going to stop that coming out. That's now holding it. It's not letting it come out. Okay. And then when you want to pull it apart, you can take the nail out. He's ready. So next I'm going to do the pipes. Okay, so I've got the funnel and I've got the top of the bottle. Now the top of the bottle, it kind of is a little bit loose, so I'm going to use a little bit of tape, just like that, so that the outer bit, the bottle bit, Goes on nice and firm. It's going on nice and firm now. Okay. You just want it to about there. You don't want it going all the way. And then you've got your funnel. Now the reason I've taped the funnel, the end of it, is again so that it goes in nice and firm into the pipe. Everything is nice and firm and tight. Alright, it's got to go all the way to the base until there's nowhere for it to go, and then this got to be pushed up so that the two kind of meet. So now that's a nice solid base there. So now I'm going to use tape. I'm going to tape, first of all I'm going to tape the bottle top to the funnel, and then I'm going to tape the funnel to the bowl. So let's get this happening. I've got ready-made strips, so I'm just going to Alright, so this is the tricky part to get this right. I've got to keep the ball firmly on this. Slowly. Okay, one other thing I'm going to show you is how you can make this height adjustable, so you can have it adjust up and down. And for that you need a clamp like this. Is a hose clamp. It's a metal clamp. I don't know if you can see it, but these about $1 at the hardware store, and basically that needs to go over the outer pipe at this point here. I'm just going to cut some grooves into it using a hacksaw or a serrated knife, and then I'm also going to cut a section of the inner pipe out, so there's a gap. I'm going to have inner pipe right at the bottom, and then somewhere it's going to begin here and allow it to go up and down. Alright, so I don't know if you can see this, but I've made cuts into the outer tube about an inch or half an inch. This clamp is now going to close over that, and by tightening the clamp, that's going to tighten around the inner tube. Okay, so I've got to still cut away a piece of the inner tube. So I've cut the inner tube. I've cut about that much away from the inner tube. So that's still going to be the bottom part of the inner tube, and the top part is going to be able to slide up and down. Okay, so you've got your clamp, and this goes in. Okay, so that can go all the way down there. So that's pretty low. So that's for the smaller person. So there we go. So that's at that level. Mind you, the lower you put it, the quicker it's going to be. So that's another consideration. So here it is. Indoor ultimate fast reflex bag using a ball, a bottle top, a funnel, lots of tape, 2 pipes, PVC pipes, and an MDF board with a couple of wooden pieces drilled through to hold. Oh, I'm totally hooked now. This thing is unbelievable. So I'm putting my MMA gloves on.